Hello friends, welcome to helpingtesters.com. So what we are trying to achieve in this session is that we'll be covering what is a test plan, what is thread group, and we'll be creating one end-to-end script and seeing how it is run, and the same we'll be using in our next sessions for the learning of JMeter. Now, what is a test plan? As we have studied before, test plan can be considered as a large container in which you'll be having various test scenarios or test cases. So, test plan can be considered, it is the root of your JMeter script. So, you can name it here as well. You can just write here smoke test. Okay, and you can give any comment you want to give. This is a section for user defined variables. That means you can define some global variables. If I give a variable and give it a value as 10, then inside my test plan where I will be using this variable, its value would be 10. So anything you define at test plan is global, because it is a root of your JMeter script. You can add multiple variable 1 and you can give value. Okay. Now here is an option for add directory or jar to class path. Let me just open my JMeter where it is installed. So under the library you will find a number of jars, because JMeter is built on Java. That is, it is a collection of jar files. So you can prepare, as JMeter is an open source, you can work on it, use its APIs and prepare your code that is some functionality, and you can extract it as executable jar file that is of Java, and you can just add reference to it from here and you can use its functionality. So through here you can add some jar files if you want to use some external functionality. Here you will find 3 checkboxes. I am more concerned about this. That is, run thread group consecutively. What I mean here is, suppose in this thread group I have one thread group, name it as scenario 1. Another I have, let's say, scenario 2. Now when I run my script, both of this scenario will start executing in parallel. But I want to do that first this scenario is executed and then this second is executed, that is serially, one group at a time. So you can check this box, that is, first this would be executed and then this. If I uncheck this, then these two would be executed at once or maybe at some delay, but that depends upon the JMeter. But we can restrict one thread group at a time using this checkbox. So this was an overview of a test plan, what a test plan is, and also in a project you can have only one test plan. In the test plan you have multiple thread groups, but there would be only one test plan. So in this session, let's create one dummy test script for a learning purpose. So we have a test plan and we will name it as sanity test, sanity suit. Under this I will add a thread group and I will name it as login. Okay, so this is my login thread group. Under this I will add a sampler. So what are samplers? Samplers are the real component which are performing the activity, that is, they are hitting a website, they are hitting a server, they are establishing a connection with database. So all this activity are done by sampler. So for hitting a website we have HTTP, but for learning purpose let's use a Java request. So don't, sorry, this was not login, it is a scenario one. Okay, this thread is scenario one, and let's this request, what is this performing? It is doing login request. That is, it is doing login into the server or a website. And let me add a report here, that is a listener view result tree for seeing the report. So this is a dummy website or a dummy website, you can say, and we are performing a load. We have a plan. Under this we have one test scenario. In this we are a Java request, name it as a login request, which is actually not performing anything, and a report, that is a listener. Let me save this. Under the basic feature, and I will give the JMX name is as test, or we can say JMeter template, and I can save this. When I run this, you will find that this request has been executed successfully. Again, you can add another Java request and you can name it as logout request. Okay. You can also drag and drop these. You can see here. So let's say I can drag this here. Though inside this the ordering won't matter, this tree will give the result for all the requests at its level. So this result tree will give the report for this and this. So we have one test scenario, and in that what we are doing, we are first logging into the application and then logging out, which in real are not doing anything, but it's a dummy that they will be performing this type of activity. Let me clear the old result and save this, and let me run this. So I have two requests which are being hit and they are in green. So this is my test, you can say template. So using this Java request and these scenarios, we'll be studying major functionality of a JMeter, because this is a simple script and it will help us to learn easily all the components. So in this lecture, we'll be studying about the thread groups in detail. So we have this on the left side test plan, that is the default container, and inside let's add one thread group. So this is a thread group. Under this we will add one sampler, that is Java request, which is actually not performing any type of such activity, and we will add one report, that is view result tree listener. So this is our request. Let us save this, a name of threads.jmx, and run this. You will see one type of sampler. I will name this at login, would be executed. Let me clear this, run this again, and login is executed. So you can see only one request is going. The reason is, in this thread group, what the thread group is, thread group tells that how many virtual users, how much load you want to put during the testing. So this is my test scenario in which I am logging in. So I have put a load of one user. I can change it. I can, let's say I will put a load of 5 users. I will clear the old result, save this, and would run. So you will see here total there is 5 users which are logging in, because I have put a load of 5 users. Similarly, I can keep increasing the load, and you will find here the number of requests will go to the server. In our case it is 20. Now let's make it 10. Now there we have a ramp up period. Suppose we want to put a load on a website with, let's say, 10 users, and we are hitting a website Facebook. So all those users won't be logging at the same time. there must be some time gap, like 10 users would be logging in 2 minutes or 1 minute, because time difference happens between in real scenario. There must be a 1 second gap between two users. It may be seconds, minutes, whatever, depending upon the website, but they won't be hitting at the same time. So there we come with ramp period. Ramp period says, if we mention 10 seconds, so what it says that in 10 seconds we need to put 10 users load in a website. So that is total number of seconds is 10 and 10 is the number of users. So in 1 second, one user will be hitting the website. Let's save this and see a result. Clear the old result and see. One hit, then 1 second wait. So in each request you are getting 1 second wait for 10 requests. If this was not there, you must see that all are hitting at once, you see. But when there is a ramp period, if I give 20, so what will be our equation? Ramp up period is 20, number of threads are 10, so after every 2 seconds one user will be hitting the server. Let's see, if I now run this, it will take every 2 seconds for each user to hit the login. You see, there is always a 2 second gaps. So we have total 10 users, so it will be active on 20 seconds. So a script would take around nearby 20 seconds to be completed, which is correct, around 18, and this is number of users. So this you mean by ramp period. Now let me again make it 1 and no ramp period. Loop count. Loop count means if I mention here 10 threads, so it means that there would be 10 users hitting a website. If I mention here 1 user and loop count means 2, then one user would be hitting a website 2 times. For example, one user will go to the login page, then again the same user will hit the login page. So this is you mean by looping. So I have 1 user and 2 loops. So let's see what would be the result. 2 times login. If I give 5 here, so you would see there is login for 5 times. Similarly, I can make 2 threads, that is 2 users hitting the login button, and I want to repeat this for 5 times. That is 2 users would be hitting the website 5 times. Let's see, there would be 10 requests. Yes. We have an option for forever. Forever means that it would be an endless loop. If I go here, so you see it will continue be executing. It won't stop. It is executing. You will see that there is a stop icon coming, that it is still executing. Time is increasing, and you will see the scroll bar is going up. That is new requests are coming. So you can stop this using this stop button. Now, there is a delay thread creation until needed. What it means, suppose you have 500 requests and you have told that all these requests would be hitting the server in 1000 seconds. What the JMeter does, it also creates some virtual users. As all those virtual users would take, let's say, around 30 minutes to hit a website, and JMeter created all those virtuals started in beginning, so it's a waste of memory. So by this delay thread creation checkbox, what you can say that create virtual user the time when it is required. So as it will taking 30 minutes or whatever the time is to hit the website, whenever the thread group's turn comes to hit, then only create it. No need to create the users in the starting. It's unnecessary wastage of time. Scheduler. So scheduler is something by which you can plan your activity. Let's say I say to startup delay in 5 seconds. I will just delete this start time and end time, and let me run this. I'm clearing the old result. I will say 2 users, no ramp up period. Let me clear this and run this. So it is saying me that your execution will start at this time. I click on OK. So what it will do, it will wait for 5 seconds and the execution would start. Okay, it didn't start it. Error occurred, thread group error message, end time scheduler is passed, fixed value, C logs. Okay, so there is some time change, so that's why it is not taking it. Let me just add it here. And okay, so I want to start with 6 time. Let me save this and start running it. Okay, so there was some time issue. So you can see here it is waiting. After 5 seconds it started executing. I have a forever loop, so that's why it was executing in looping. So from here you can set the time and you can manage it. If I have not given this 5 seconds and I have just given it that to start at 7, and if I have run this, you will see the execution won't start till the time is 7 seconds. Okay, you are not able to view the time, right? Yeah, see. So till it's 4:07 the execution won't start, because we have mentioned here that to start the execution only at 7. So as soon as my watch will give 7, the execution would start. But if I have given a startup, let's say 5 seconds, then it will override this. As soon as I play after 5 seconds delay, it will start the execution. Let's see. If I, let's say, play it, it will wait for 5 seconds and the execution would start. See? The reason is that startup delay and the duration how which you want the duration that test execution should be override this. They have a priority over the start time and end time, right? So this is the option by which you can schedule your JMeter scripts. You will find some options here, that action to be taken after a sampler error, that whenever your JMeter scripts found an error, how you want to work with it. Like if there were 10 executions and you find an error, do you want to continue? Then remade it. You want to make sure that a next loop starts running. We can specify the loops here. So if any looping error is encountered, it will start the next loop. You can stop thread. We find the two options here for these. What it says that complete the activity you are performing and then stop it. And the shutdown says whatever activity you are doing, stop it now. Either you are waiting for a response or anything, don't wait for it to be completed. So this is what it says, stop now, sorry, stop test and stop test now. So they are the same thing which we are here, stop and shut down. So this was all about thread groups. So you can mention the number of load here, ramp up period, how much time you want to take, and you can start the load testing. You must be considering why we have taken this Java request and now why not hitting a real website. The reason is it is unethical. Guys, please note, and you cannot put load to any website. When you're working with any organization and you're doing performance testing, then also you have to get in written by the client that we would be putting, or client allows to put load on the servers. If not, then client can sue the company for putting load to their websites. So it is unethical to put load on another website. So that's why we have taken a Java request, so that it's not a real website, to learn that how the thread group is working. We taken an example of 10 in our case. So in this it would have been so many requests to the particular website, and it must has been gone down or whatever if the load is huge. So don't put higher load to any real website. So for learning how we can put, so how we will learn that if we don't work with real websites, what will we do? We will start a server at a local end and we will open a website on local end only. So I guide you also, don't put loads. Maybe 1 or 2 user is okay, 1 or 2 thread group is okay, but don't put more load. There may be scenarios, maybe you put 100 user load and your script were passing, but then your script starts getting failed. The reason is the websites have programs written at their end. When they found that a huge load is coming from one website or IP, they block it. They may block it for some time or permanently also. So maybe your test case start failing also if by unknowingly you put a large load to someone's website. So it is unethical to put load to anyone's website. We have an app, that is we will start the website at a local end. Okay, so you need to copy and go to this link. Actually this website is provided by LoadRunner. LoadRunner is also a performance testing tool. It is a paid tool. So what these guys, they have developed this website, web tools, and a server which can be started at local end, and you can perform or learn the performance testing. So the good thing is that you can individually also install this application and you can test it. So this is the URL and you can click on download button, download as zip, and it would be downloaded. Sign in. Okay, so I am signed in, and now again let's use the same URL and I will click as download as zip. Okay, now the download has started because I am signed in, as you can see here. So you need to create account first. Okay, so it is downloaded. Let me copy it on my desktop and let me extract it here only. It will be extracted in few seconds. Just wait. Yeah. Okay. Let me delete the zip file. Okay, so this is our application. Under this application, you will find the Strawberry Pearl. So you need to install that. Let me double click on it. I'll accept the terms and conditions and the installation process would start. Just you need to accept and click on next. Okay, so it is done. You need also to unzip this web tools. Yep, it is done. I will delete the zip file from here. I don't need this. Okay, so you are all done. Your system is configured. Now, whenever you want to start this website, you just need to go here, web tools, and you need to click on start server for starting of the server. So starting the web tools server. So it is started. How you can visit this website, I have shared the link here. This is the local address and this is the port where it is started. I will give access for. Okay, so you need to copy this URL, go to your browser and you need to give it here, and you will see an application is started similarly like a web, but the difference is instead of remote servers, it is starting at my local machine. This is the IP of my local machine, local host, and this is the port number where it got started. So this is a website learning at your local end. So how much you can put load on this doesn't matter, as you are now acting as a manager or as a owner of this website because it is using your servers. So whenever you want to put a load, you want to check much thing, you can use this website. Yes, for the learning of different HTTP requests, and which will be covering in later section, you can apply a load or 1 2 and use real websites, but still it is not ethical. But